Well, hello friends. We are going to be doing some crafting. In this video, I wanted to make a few more ornaments to go on my handmade ornament tree. And I have 4, maybe 5 ideas. We're going to start off with a super simple one. I got some rub-on transfers from the DIYstruggle.com, also known as TDS. I think her name is Brandy. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, she's a YouTuber, and she also has this website. She designs all of these things to be used. She does rub-on transfers and things that you can decoupage. She also sells wood pieces. That's where I got these little wood rounds. I know you can get wood rounds from the Dollar Tree, but these were already drilled with a hole. And these little round rub-on transfers fit these pretty much perfectly. They're a little bit big. So what I'm planning to do is I'm just going to do one of these. I'm going to pick out a picture, and then I'm going to pick out some words. I'm going to put the picture on one side, the words on the other side. It's really simple to do rub-on transfers. She sends a little card to rub them with, and yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. She also sent this one, was in the pack, which is so pretty. I'll probably use something off of there, maybe. So like I said, first one I'm going to do is super simple. I'm just going to do a rub-on transfer ornament. I am not going to do voiceovers. I watch a lot of crafting channels, and they always do voiceovers. And I'm just not very good at voiceovers. I don't really like voiceovers. I don't mind watching them, but I just don't like doing them. And so what I'm going to do, whatever I do in my craft videos, is I will explain what I'm going to do, and then I will show you what I'm doing set to music. Sometimes I'll speed it up. Sometimes it'll be in regular speed. So that's what we're going to do. Got my scissors, got my wood round, got my rub-on transfers and my rub-on card. All I need is some twine to put through there for a hanger. So let's get started. All right, I had a little bit of trouble with the rub-on transfer, only because the surface of this wood is bumpy, so you really had to use a lot of pressure. And as you can see, this one didn't quite fit it, but I don't mind that look of it kind of just hanging over the edge. You can still get the gist of what it's saying. So I think to just jazz this up a little bit, I'm going to put a little bit of Mod Podge right around the edge and around this part. Well, maybe not around there. Just around the edge at the top of the picture, and put a little bit of glitter, because what is a Christmas ornament without glitter. Now you saw that I started off with this one, which is my first choice, but I realized if I put it on there, then the hole for the hanger was going to go right through Santa's sleigh, so I didn't want to do that. So I'll use this one in a different project today. I'm going to have to get some kind of a small pokey tool of some sort to poke the hole back through the rub-on transfer, maybe just like the tip of a pencil or something. So the next thing I'm going to do is glitter this up and put a hanger on it, and then this ornament will be done. I think that turned out very pretty. Now I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to put another coat of Mod Podge over the top just to seal the glitter in, and then when that's dry I'll put the string in it. So while this is drying, we're going to go on to our next ornament. Our next ornament is this. Now this was a solid ornament, and Scott took it out and used a tool and cut like a peekaboo hole in it so that I could build a scene inside of here. The only downside is it kind of left a jagged edge, but I told him that's okay, I can disguise that. So that's what we're going to work on next. We're going to build a little scene in here. I got some of these adorable little deer from Amazon. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? And it's so tiny. So I'm going to be using some of these little deer inside of here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of cardboard. This is just out of some packaging. And the bottom of this Aleene's Tacky Glue bottle is the perfect size to fit down in there. So I'm going to use this as a template to draw a circle. Then I'm going to put this rub-on transfer onto the cardboard, and then we're going to glue it with the hot glue to the back of this ornament. Whoop, get in frame. To the back of this ornament, and then build a little snowy scene down in there using some of those little deer that I bought. And then I'm going to put some trim around the edge. I'm thinking it's going to be some of this cut down because it's too big, but I may have to swivel and do something different if that doesn't work. And then we'll just add some embellishments to it as we go. I'm thinking about putting some paint on this thing, cap, I guess it's called, to kind of vintagey it up a little bit. But let's go ahead and get started with the backing, and we'll just go from there. So while we wait for that to glue to dry a little bit, it's pretty, you know, pretty secure, but I want it to dry a little bit before I mess with it too much. We're going to bounce back to this one, and I'm going to put some of this super gloss Mod Podge on the top because I don't want to take away from the sparkle of the glitter. So we're going to do that. And once that is dry, we'll put a hanger on it. So I'm going to use these cotton balls as kind of the base for some snow. I'm going to like spread them apart so they don't look like cotton balls. Glue them down in there. It's just to kind of to bring it up a little bit. I glued this a little high so that I'd have room to build the scene down below. I'm going to use a couple of these little tiny Christmas trees, but I don't really like the color of them. So I'm going to paint over them with some of this marsh green by Apple Barrel. And like I said, I'm going to use a couple of these deer. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, if I'm going to just use the small one or maybe the buck. There's a buck, there's a doe, there's fawns, laying down deer, fawns. So we'll see about that, but we're definitely incorporating some deer in that. And I'm going to be using some of this faux snow. I'm going to have to somehow glue it because I don't want it all falling out every time anybody touches this ornament. And so let me go ahead and get started building the scene down here. I'm going to be using hot glue and tacky glue, the Tite Bond Quick and Thick. And so yeah, I think that's all I need to really say about that. Let's get going. So my Tite Bond glue was not working as well as I would have hoped that it would work. So I'm going to use some of this spray adhesive. I'm just going to spray that in there real good and then put a mixture of the faux snow and some, wherever it went, some glitter. Ah, here it is. My workspace space is a mess, but this glitter. So I'm going to use, hopefully this works because, like I said, that other glue was just too thick and it kept glomming onto the cotton balls. I mean, I was able to get some to stay down in there, but let's see if this works. I also wanted to mention that if you use hot glue on these ornaments, to use the low setting because, oh look at that, got paint on it, because it will melt the plastic. If I can get my words out. And that glue, that's some Tite Bond. It'll dry clear. I mean, I know it looks kind of horrible right now, but that will dry clear. And I'm also thinking about putting some decoupage paper on the back of it, of a different scene to kind of cover all that work up. Okay, yeah, that worked better. Let me get it off of there. Yeah, that worked better. So let me give it another little spritz of glue. And we'll put some of that glitter in there. You can tell I don't craft all the time because I make all the mistakes that the professional crafters don't make. Ooh, that's glittery. Oh, isn't that pretty? I don't know if it's picking up on camera. That's very pretty. I like that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue those trees down in, and the little deer, and I might need to paint a couple more trees because I don't think 2 are going to be enough. I am loving how that's turning out so far. I have decided I'm going to use some of my Waverly antiquing wax, and I'm going to kind of age up this hanger a little bit, and then I'm going to take this sparkly off, and I'm going to use jute twine as the hanger because I think that would just go with the rustic theme a little bit better. So let me do that, and I still have to do something with the back because I'm not liking that mess. Also from the DIY struggle, I ordered some of this, I think it's called rice paper, and it's for decoupaging, and it's just absolutely adorable. It's one big sheet. And I'm going to cut out this owl. Oop, get in frame. I'm going to cut out this owl, and I'm going to decoupage that on the back of this ornament so that if it twirls around, you're not going to see all of that ugly. My camera battery died, so while it was charging, I finished decoupaging the back of this ornament. Now, I am not a very good decoupager. Every time, no matter what I do, unless I do the iron-on method, I get wrinkles. So, and plus this is kind of like a rounded shape, so it wrinkled a little bit. That's okay for me, to me. It's kind of a rustic ornament. So I went ahead and put some glitter on it to kind of disguise some of the wrinkles a little bit. And then I put some twine, jute twine around with a little bow. Now the antiquing wax did not work for this. I mean, it did a little bit, but it didn't really come across like I wanted it to. So I have some European gold rub and buff that I'm going to paint it with in just a moment. But also off camera, while I was waiting for my camera battery to charge, I put some Mod Podge around the side and put some more of that faux snow. I just didn't like the way it was looking. I got a little bit messy with my Mod Podge, so it was looking kind of streaky, and so I thought, well, how can I disguise that? So that's what I did, and I really liked that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some rub and buff on the cap. It dries really, really fast, so that's why I'm going to use it. And then I'm just going to add a red ribbon and a little bit of greenery at the top, and then this ornament will be done. The next ornament I'm going to make, I'm going to be using 2 more of these wood rounds, 2 more of the rub-on transfers, and then I'm going to use this is actually a napkin holder, napkin ring, but I had a bunch of them, so I don't need it for that. So I'm going to make it into an ornament. Now I did put the string on it already, but it wants to keep kind of going to the front, so I'm going to have to, because I want it to be able to hang straight, I'm going to probably throw a little bit of hot glue in there and just make it stay where I want it. Here's my rubber finger. Tell you, my craft area is a disaster. Things are everywhere. So let me get this glued. I will get the rub-on transfers put onto the wood rounds. You guys don't need to watch me do that again. And then I'll bring you back and we will put this ornament together. I have the rub-on transfers on. And so I'm going to use some of the Tight Bond multi-purpose glue as well as some hot glue to glue these together, because I don't trust that the hot glue will hold it very well, or as well as it should. And my little squeeze hole is plugged, so I'm just going to use a brush, be a little bit more precise that way. I'm going to leave a few little openings for the hot glue. But this quick and thick glue, it is quick, it dries quick, and it's kind of almost like, I've heard, I'm not sure, but I've heard people say that it's actually a wood glue, so that works out. I'm just going to put some hot glue in between, and I didn't have to worry about the hanging hole on these this time, but I do need to make sure I get my image straight. Okay, fantastic. Now I'm going to do the same with this one, Believe in the Magic of Christmas. I figured that was appropriate because of the Santa sleigh in that picture. So then for the edge, to disguise the seam, I'm going to take some more of this. What is this stuff called? They're like ties, greenery ties or whatever, and I trimmed them down because I think they look better trimmed down. And I'm just going to hot glue one on each side like that. And then I'm going to decorate the top around the hanger, and then this ornament will be done. Got two more ornaments that I want to do today. The next one, I got these are going to be two different ornaments, but I got these little wooden kitchen utensils off of Amazon. They were part of a kids set. This one I'm lucky because it already has a hole in it for a hanger. This one I'm going to have to tie some jute around it and hot glue it or something. But on this one, I got this set of little mini rolling pin ornaments from Walmart, and I chose the one that says joyful, and I cut the little hanger part off, but it left it looking a little messed up. So I'm going to use some of my antique gold rub and buff, and I'm just going to paint the handles on these rolling pins just to disguise that mess up. And then I'm going to hot glue it onto here, add some greenery, and I'm also going to use this little rub-on transfer on the handle. I think it's going to fit that perfectly. And so that is our next ornament. So this is what it looks like so far, but I think it needs something right there. So I'm going to use this bow, but I'm not thrilled with that silver ball. So this comes apart really easily, and I'm going to pull that ball off of there, and then I'm going to twist this back. And then to disguise that silver cord, I've got this little black button that I'm just going to hot glue right in the center, and then I can just use this silver twist tie and tie the bow on to the handle. And to disguise the cording on the back, I've got another little black button that's a little bit bigger. I'm just going to stick that right there. Now all I have to do is attach a hanger to the top, and this one is done. This one I am going to use this rub-on transfer, put it on the blade, and I'm going to add some greenery, probably a bow and a tie, and this will go on the tree as well. I found this gift tag and it had this pop-up attached to it, and I thought it would look really cute attached on here. It's very vintagey looking and it's got the poinsettia. So I'm going to glue that to this, and then, oh, I'm sorry about the dogs, constant barking. I'm going to string these jingle bells at different lengths to hang off the side of it and tie a hanger on the top, and then this one will be done.
Alright friends, that is the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. I do know it was kind of a longer video, but I also know you do enjoy my crafting videos. I spent an entire Saturday afternoon working on these ornaments, and I had so much fun. My little tree is running out of room. I'm going to have to invest in a bigger tree for my dining room next year if I'm going to make more ornaments. But anyway, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. In the comment section below, let me know which one of the 5 ornaments was your favorite. I think my favorite was the round clear ornament with the reindeer scene on the inside. I just really enjoyed doing that. That's the one that took me the longest to make and took the most brain power to make. And I really like the way it turned out, even though it's not perfect. I know the imperfections. I don't think you guys can see the imperfections. At least I hope you can't. But I would have to say that was probably my favorite ornament. All right, friends, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here now. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below, and we'll see you real soon with another brand new video. Bye-bye, friends.